Atlus's 2011 title, Catherine is undoubtedly one of the most memorable and unusual titles of its generation. A hybrid of relationship drama, psychological horror, and block-climbing puzzle action that on paper doesn't sound as if it would work nearly as well as it does. Catherine carved out a niche by boldly tackling adult themes with honesty, humor, and surreal intensity. More than a decade later, its strengths still shine as a title that wasn't afraid to take risks. One of Catherine's most impressive assets is its exceptional voice acting. The English dub, featuring Troy Baker as Vincent, Laura Bailey as Catherine, and Michelle Ruff, also as Catherine, gives the game emotional depth far beyond what you might expect from its wild premise. Additional voices by standouts like Yuri Lowenthal, Liam O'Brien, and Travis Willingham are worth mentioning as well. They do a remarkable job in portraying their respective characters. Also, as a fun side note, almost the entire cast here has made appearances in Naruto projects. The cast handles everything from awkward bar conversations to gut-wrenching panic attacks with nuance, and their performances elevate moments that could otherwise feel melodramatic or absurd. The chemistry between the characters is palpable, making Vincent's emotional turmoil feel genuine rather than cartoonish. This level of voice acting isn't foreign to Atlus's titles, but it's a big part of why Catherine remains so compelling. At its core, Catherine is a puzzle game, a somewhat demanding one at that. Each night, Vincent is thrust into a nightmare sequence where he must climb towering block structures that shift, crumble, and threaten to crush him. The gameplay is fast, strategic, and surprisingly intense. The climbing mechanics here are easy to learn, but hard to master. Decisions are often made on the fly, making for an oftentimes edge-of-your-seat experience. Various block types, cracked cubes, ice blocks, trap blocks, add more diversity and tension. Boss levels like the infamous Baby create genuinely memorable and horrific set pieces. The scoring system and ranking challenges provide strong replay value. The puzzles are smartly integrated with the game's themes. Vincent's anxieties manifest as literal towering obstacles, making the gameplay feel symbolic rather than arbitrary. The story is also where Catherine distinguishes itself. It explores topics rarely handled in mainstream games at the time: commitment anxiety, infidelity, personal responsibility, and adulthood's emotional messiness. While questionable at times, Vincent can mostly be a surprising down-to-earth and relatable protagonist, making for a story that hits more than it misses. Both Catherines are more than just stereotypes. They represent different philosophies and fears. The game addresses mature themes without shying away from uncomfortable truths, such as commitment and being true to yourself. The surreal horror sequences, bar conversations, and confessional moments blend into a cohesive, psychological journey. Multiple endings give weight to player choices, encouraging reflection rather than simple reward. While the game's supernatural framing is beyond bizarre, it never loses sight of the very real human emotions driving the story forward. For all its strengths, Catherine is by no means an untouchable masterpiece. The puzzles may be brilliant, but they're not for everyone. Even on normal difficulty, certain levels can feel quite punishing. The last half of the game sees some uneven difficulty spikes that seem to go from manageable to absurdly chaotic in the blink of an eye. Although the bar sections build atmosphere and develop characters, the pacing can drag at times. Talking to patrons and checking your phone offers depth, but occasionally feels like filler between the main events. Outside the bar sequences and nightmare climbs, there isn't much to do. Players expecting a more traditional narrative adventure may find the overall structure somewhat repetitive. The game could have definitely benefited from more playable areas, such as those present in the Persona series. Catherine is a rare game, fearless, weird, emotionally charged, and mechanically inventive. Its combination of unforgettable voice performances, challenging puzzles, and a provocative narrative ensures it stands out in Atlus's catalog. It's not without its flaws, especially in difficulty balance, but its ambition and execution still makes it something special. For players who enjoy games that push boundaries and spark discussion, Catherine remains absolutely worth experiencing, and a standout in Atlus's catalog.